When my brother announced he was marrying my best friend, everyone called it a perfect match. I smiled through the wedding speeches, raised my glass, and pretended it didn't feel like losing both of them in one day. I told myself I was happy for them, that the ache in my chest was just nostalgia. But the call started 3 months later, always after midnight, always from her. At first, it was small talk, memories, laughter, story for childhood. Then came the silence between her words, the pauses that lasted too long, the quiet crying she tried to hide. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered one night. "He's not who you think he is." I wanted to hang up. I wanted to forget. But the next words she said froze my blood. "If anything happens to me, promise you'll tell them the truth." And then the line went dead. I used to think I'd be standing beside Lily on her wedding day, fixing her veil, whispering jokes to calm her nerves, being the sister she never had. I didn't expect to be sitting in the third row, smiling so hard my cheeks ached, watching her marry my brother. Ethan looked handsome in a way that made every guest sigh. The golden boy of our family, steady, generous, too good to ever be questioned. And Lily, she glowed. Not the kind of glow you get from happiness, though. It was the fragile kind, the kind that flickers right before a candle dies. When they said "I do," the church erupted in applause. Cameras flashed, confetti fluttered, and my mother cried like the universe had finally balanced itself. But all I could think about was the way Lily's hand trembled when Ethan slid the ring onto her finger. It wasn't nerves. It was something else. Something I'd seen before but never understood. That night, at the reception, she found me outside by the lake. The lights from the ballroom shimmered across the water. Laughter spilled through the open doors. She was barefoot, holding her shoes in one hand, the hem of her white gown streaked with grass. "You okay?" I asked. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You ever feel like you just made a promise to the wrong version of someone?" I frowned. "Lily, you love him." "I do," she said. "That's the problem." Before I could ask what she meant, my father called her back inside for the first dance. She kissed my cheek. "Thank you for being here, Anna. Don't ever forget that." I didn't understand then why it sounded like a goodbye. Ethan and Lily moved into the old family house on Maple Hill a week later. He insisted it was temporary until their new place was built, but everyone knew Ethan loved that house too much to ever leave. He'd grown up there. Every wall still held his trophies. Every drawer smelled faintly of cedar and certainty. At first, everything looked perfect. Sunday dinners, shared jokes, photos of them on my mother's mantle. Lily texted me occasionally, small things. "Need a lasagna recipe. Can I borrow that blue dress?" But her messages grew shorter, the emojis disappeared, and eventually the silence stretched for weeks. Then one night, my phone buzzed at 12:14 a.m. Her name lit up the screen. I almost ignored it, thinking it was a butt dial, but something in me knew better. "Lily," a shaky breath. Then, "Hey, were you awake?" "Yeah, I lied." "What's wrong?" "Nothing," she said too quickly. "Just couldn't sleep." We talked about nothing for a while, the weather, a new movie, old memories from college. Her voice was lighter by the end, but when she hung up, I heard it, the muffled sound of a door closing, then a man's voice in the background. I didn't think much of it then. Married people argued, right? But the calls kept coming. Every few nights, always past midnight. Sometimes she'd whisper like she was hiding. Sometimes she'd talk fast, almost manic. Once, I heard the faint clink of glass and realized she'd been drinking. "Ethan's different lately," she said one night. "He gets angry over small things. The coffee's too cold, the curtains are open, my phone rings too long." Her laugh was brittle. "Maybe it's just marriage. Have you told him how you feel?" I asked. "I can't. He'd make it my fault." "Lily." "Anna," she cut in softly. "Can I ask you something? Did Ethan ever scare you when you were kids?" I froze. "No. He was protective." "Why?" She hesitated. "Sometimes he looks at me like he's remembering something I don't." After that, the calls grew heavier. She told me she'd started locking the bedroom door at night. That Ethan would pace outside, muttering her name, saying she was forgetting. When I asked what that meant, she'd changed the subject. Once, I heard him in the background, his voice low and calm. "Who are you talking to?" She lied, said it was her mother, and the line went dead. By the third week, I couldn't sleep. Every creak of my apartment sounded like my phone vibrating. Every time it rang, my heart jumped between relief and dread. I wanted to tell someone, my parents, a friend, but how do you accuse your brother of something when you don't even know what it is? Then came a night that changed everything. It was raining hard, wind hammering the windows. The kind of storm that makes the world feel smaller. At 12:41 a.m., my phone rang again. Her voice was barely audible. "Anna, he's asleep. I think. You need to leave," I whispered. "Come here. Now." "I can't." He took my car keys. "Call the police." No, a sharp breath. "They won't believe me." "Why wouldn't they?" "Because he's your brother," she said, and something inside me cracked. There was a long pause. Then she whispered, "He knows, Anna." "Knows what?" "That we talked about him." Before I could respond, I heard a noise on her end, a crash, then footsteps, then static. "Lily." No answer. "Lily." The line went dead. I tried calling back. Straight to voicemail. Again and again until morning, until the rain stopped, until the sunlight looked like a lie. By noon, I drove to Maple Hill. The front door was locked. No answer when I knocked. The curtains were drawn, and the house felt too quiet. I circled to the back and saw it. Lily's phone lying in the wet grass, screen cracked, still buzzing faintly with missed calls. When I picked it up, the last outgoing call flashed across the display. 1:03 a.m., Anna. That evening, Ethan called me. His voice was calm, too calm. "Hey sis," he said. "Lily's gone to her mother's for a few days. She needed space." "Space from what?" "Marriage," he said simply, then laughed. "Don't worry. Newlyweds fight. It's normal." I wanted to ask about her phone, but something in his tone made me stop. Instead, I said, "Tell her to call me when she gets there." "Of course," he said. "You know she loves you, right?" "I know." "Good." He paused. "Take care of yourself, Anna. Don't stay up so late." The line clicked, and for the first time in my life, my brother's voice frightened me. I told myself not to panic. People disappear for a day. Sometimes two. Arguments happen. Phones break. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Because Lily wasn't the kind of person who just vanished. She was predictable, loyal to routine. The friend who texted me when she got home safe, who double-checked seatbelt clicks and expiration dates on milk. If she'd really gone to her mother's, she would have told me. By the third day, I couldn't sit still. I drove to my parents' house, hoping to find Ethan there. The driveway was empty, but his favorite jacket hung by the door, damp with rain. Mom greeted me with her usual smile, though it didn't quite reach her eyes. "Sweetheart, we haven't seen you all week. How's work?" "I'm fine," I said quickly. "Have you heard from Lily?" Mom's face changed. "Ethan said she's visiting her mother." "Why?" "She didn't tell me she was leaving." Mom hesitated. Maybe she needed space. You know how overwhelming early marriage can be. I did, but I also knew how Lily's voice had trembled that night when she said, "If anything happens to me." Later that evening, Ethan showed up. The front door opened, and there he was, perfectly put together, calm as ever. Not a trace of the man Lily had described in those late-night calls. "Anna," he said warmly, kissing Mom's cheek. "What's for dinner?" I studied him. "Where's Lily?" He smiled. "Didn't Mom tell you?" "She's with her mother in Portland. Taking some time. Her mom lives in Arizona." He froze for half a second, just long enough for me to notice. "Right. Sorry, I misspoke. She was going to Arizona, but she stopped in Portland first." I held his gaze. "When did she leave?" 2 nights ago. That was the same night she called me. The same night I'd heard her scream before the line went dead. Ethan leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms casually. "You look tired, Anna. Maybe you should get some rest." His tone wasn't brotherly. It was warning. After dinner, he found me in the kitchen, alone. He leaned against the counter, voice low. "You've always been the curious one. What's that supposed to mean?" He smirked. "Lily told me you've been asking questions. Maybe don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong." I forced a laugh. "I'm just worried." "Don't be." His smile didn't reach his eyes. "She's fine. She'll call when she's ready." And then he added, almost playfully, "You two always did talk too much." He left before I could answer. The next morning, I went to Lily's mother's house. The door opened to a confused woman in a floral robe. "Anna, how lovely to see you. Is Lily here?" Her brow furrowed. No. Should she be? My heart sank. Ethan said, I haven't spoken to Lily in over a week, she interrupted. She said she was busy settling into the house. Why? Did something happen? I forced a smile. No, just checking in. But inside, panic bloomed like fire. That night, I searched online. No credit card activity, no phone signals, no posts. It was as if she disappeared into thin air. Then I remembered the backup email we'd created in college, a shared address for study notes and late-night secrets. I hadn't opened it in years. The inbox had one unread message. From Lily Anderson. Subject, if anything happens. My hand shook as I clicked it. Anna, if you're reading this, it means I didn't make it out. Please don't go to the police yet. They'll never believe you. Ethan looks perfect on paper. Everyone loves him, but he's not what he seems. There's a room in the basement, the one he keeps locked. He said it's for tools. Don't believe him. Don't go alone. Promise me one thing. When you find it, tell the truth. Ed, I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Ethan's house. The basement. The lock. I had to see for myself. The next morning, I told Mom I was going to check on the house for Lily while she was away. She didn't question it. She adored Ethan, trusted him blindly. The spare key was under the doormat, just like always. Inside, everything was spotless, almost staged. Lily's jacket still hung by the stairs. Her perfume lingered faintly in the air, a ghost of her presence. I moved quietly, my heartbeat echoing in the silence. Then I found it. The basement door. Locked, heavy, with a new padlock on the latch. Exactly like the email said. I didn't have the key, but I remembered Ethan's old habits, how he used to hide spare ones behind family photos. The one in the hallway. Our childhood picture, both of us smiling at the beach, had a tiny hook taped behind the frame. The key was there. The lock clicked open. The door creaked as I pushed it. The smell hit me first, damp, chemical metallic. The kind of smell that clings to your throat. I descended the wooden steps slowly, flashlight trembling in my hand. The room was small, windowless. Tools lined one wall, saws, ropes, old paint cans. But the center of the floor was covered with plastic sheeting. And on the workbench, a phone. Lily's phone, the same one I'd found in the yard. Cleaned, charged, placed neatly as if waiting. A chill crawled down my spine. Then I saw the corner. A large chest, old and rusted, its lid half open. Inside, Lily's wedding dress. Torn, and next to it, her wedding ring. I stumbled backward, my hand flying to my mouth. A noise upstairs made me freeze. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, descending the stairs. Anna, Ethan's voice called softly. You shouldn't be down here. I turned off the flashlight and hid behind the shelving. He reached the bottom, the beam of his phone light cutting through the dark. Curiosity, he said quietly. It's always been your flaw. He walked toward the chest, crouching to touch the dress. His voice softened. She shouldn't have gone through my things. My breath caught. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to her. He stood up suddenly, the light swinging toward the shelves. I ducked lower, heart hammering so hard I thought he'd hear it. Anna, he said again, this time calm. You don't have to be afraid. I'd never hurt you. A lie so casual it almost sounded like love. He moved closer. I gripped a wrench from the shelf, my knuckles white. I just want to explain, he said softly. She misunderstood. She always misunderstood. He stopped inches from where I crouched. And then, my phone buzzed. The sound shattered the silence. Ethan turned sharply, light landing on my face. Anna. His smile was slow. There you are. The beam of Ethan's flashlight hit me square in the face. For a moment, neither of us moved. The silence between us was so thick it seemed to hum. He didn't look surprised, only disappointed. Like he'd expected this moment all along. I told you not to come here, Anna, he said softly, stepping closer. His voice had that same calm authority he used to use when we were kids, when I broke something and he promised not to tell Mom, right before twisting the knife with a smile. Where's Lily? I demanded. She's gone. He said it like it was the simplest thing in the world. Gone where? Ethan tilted his head, studying me. You sound just like her. Answer me. He sighed, almost pitying. You wouldn't understand. She was fragile. You know how she got. Don't do that, I snapped. Don't make this about her being unstable. She was terrified of you. He smiled faintly. Terrified? No, Anna. She was guilty. I felt the chill in his tone before I understood the words. Guilty of what? He took another step, the light grazing over his face. Of what she did to me. To us. What are you talking about? He ran his hand along the edge of the workbench, fingers brushing the polished surface as if it soothed him. You think you know people, he murmured, but even the ones closest to you, they lie. Stop talking in riddles, Ethan. He looked up suddenly, his expression snapping into something cold and sharp. You think she married me because she loved me? No, she did it because of you. My heart stuttered. Because of me? He nodded. You were always the golden one. The sweet one. Everyone loved Anna. Even Lily. What are you implying? Ethan laughed quietly, but there was no humor in it. I saw the way she looked at you. The way she talked about you. She didn't marry me for love. She married me to stay close to you. That's insane, I whispered. Is it? His eyes glinted. Because the night before our wedding, she came to see you. Do you remember? I froze. What? He smiled like a man who'd just won something. Of course you don't. You were drunk. You come by after rehearsal, crying about Dad, about how no one listened to you anymore. She followed you home. I tried to shake my head, but something inside me hesitated, a faint, foggy memory of that night. Lily's voice in the hallway, me half asleep on the couch, her whispering something I couldn't quite hear. She told you she loved you. Ethan said. Didn't she? No, I said, but my voice cracked. You're lying. He stepped closer. She kissed you. She told you she couldn't marry me. And what did you do, Anna? You told her to go through with it anyway. My mouth went dry. That's not true. She left the next morning shaking. But she did it. Because you told her. He leaned forward, his whisper razor sharp. So when she cried at the altar, when her hands trembled, it wasn't fear. It was regret. For a moment, the room swam. His words twisted reality, rewrote memories I thought I knew. I tried to breathe, but guilt, irrational and heavy, pressed down like weight in my chest. You're trying to manipulate me, I said, voice shaking. You hurt her. Ethan's expression softened, like he was explaining something to a child. I didn't hurt her. I just wanted her to tell the truth. But she wouldn't, so I had to make her listen. He turned toward the chest, brushing the wedding dress with the back of his hand. She was screaming at me, saying she'd tell everyone what I'd done, that I'd lose everything. I just wanted her to stop. The world tilted. My hand tightened around the wrench. What did you do to her? He looked back at me, eyes glassy. She slipped. Slipped. Down the stairs, he said softly. It was an accident. She hit her head. I tried to help her. I swear I did. Then why hide it? Why bury her? I whispered. Ethan's voice cracked. Because no one would have believed me. Not after what she said. Not after what she wrote. What she wrote. He opened a drawer in the workbench, pulling out a folded letter. He tossed it at my feet. I hesitated before picking it up. The handwriting was unmistakable. Lily's, looping and elegant. Ethan, I can't do this anymore. I should have told Anna the truth. You scare me. I know what you did to that girl before me, and I can't live with it. If anything happens to me, it's your fault. I looked up. She wrote this before she died. He smiled faintly. Or after. What are you talking about? She left that letter on my desk. But when I went to burn it, I found another one she never sent. To you. My stomach dropped. Where is it? He reached into his pocket and pulled out another folded paper, yellowed and creased. Anna, if you ever read this, please know I loved you more than I ever should have. I married Ethan because I thought it would keep me close to you. I thought I could learn to love him. But I can't. He's not who he pretends to be. If anything happens to me, promise me you'll leave. Don't let him find you the way he found me. My knees went weak. No. Ethan's eyes glimmered. She betrayed both of us. But you can fix it now. Ow, I whispered. He reached out a hand, his tone almost gentle. By staying. By not running away like she did. I lifted the wrench. You're sick. His expression hardened. And you're ungrateful. Where's she, Ethan? He tilted his head toward the far wall. You already found her things. My blood ran cold. You didn't. She's gone, he said simply. And you can't change that. But you can decide what happens next. He took another step forward, voice low. You could tell everyone she left me, that she ran away. Or you can tell them the truth and destroy our family. Mom, Dad, everyone. He was close enough now that I could see the reflection of the flashlight in his pupils. There was no remorse, no guilt, only control. I gripped the wrench tighter. Inna, he whispered, put it down. Don't make me. Something inside me snapped. The wrench connected with his shoulder before I even realized I'd swung it. He stumbled back, hitting the workbench with a shout. The flashlight rolled across the floor, spinning beams of light over the walls. He lunged at me, but I ducked and swung again, catching him in the side of the head. He collapsed, dazed, groaning. Blood streaked down his temple. I backed toward the stairs, my breath coming in gasps. Stay down. He laughed, a wet, broken sound. You think they'll believe you? I turned and ran. Up the stairs, out the door, into the night. I didn't stop running until I reached my car. My hands shook as I started the engine, headlights cutting through the dark road. When I looked in the rearview mirror, the house still loomed behind me, quiet, unbothered, like nothing had happened. At home, I locked every door, every window. My clothes smelled like metal and dust. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. I opened my laptop and reread Lily's email again. Her words glared back at me. Don't go to the police yet. They'll never believe you. But she was wrong. I had proof now. The letters. Her phone. His blood still on my sleeve. I picked up the phone and dialed 911. And then it rang. My screen lit up with an incoming call. Lily. The screen glowed in the dark. Lily, incoming call. For a second, my mind refused to process what I was seeing. I'd just left Ethan bleeding in the basement. Lily was gone. Gone. The ring sliced through the silence again. I hesitated, heart pounding so hard it blurred my vision. Then I pressed accept. Lily. My voice was a whisper. At first, nothing. Just the sound of static, faint and uneven, like wind rushing through a tunnel. Then I heard it. Her breath. Slow. Shaky. Real. Inna. My throat went dry. Lily? Where are you? I told you not to go there. Her voice was distant. The words slurred like they were fighting through water. Lily, listen to me. Ethan, he hurt you, didn't he? I found your letters, your dress. Please, tell me where you are. She paused. The sound that followed made every hair on my body rise, soft, broken laughter. You still don't get it, do you? The air in the room seemed to freeze. What do you mean? You think he hurt me, she said quietly. But you never asked why. I sat down slowly, gripping the phone so hard my knuckles whitened. I don't care why. I just want you safe. Safe. She exhaled shakily. You think there's still such a thing as safe after what we did? The line cracked, static cutting in and out. I pressed the phone tighter to my ear. What we did. Her breathing quickened. Ethan told you, didn't he? About the night before the wedding. I swallowed hard. He said you came to see me. I didn't just come to see you, Anna, she whispered. I came to say goodbye. Why? Because you made me promise. My pulse thudded in my ears. Promise what? To go through with it. To marry him. Her words sank in like ice water. My memory flickered. The night before the wedding. Wine glasses on the coffee table. Her voice trembling as she cried. Me half asleep. Murmuring something I couldn't remember. You were drunk, she continued. You told me it would make everything right. That would fix the past. What past? She laughed bitterly. The one you buried. I don't know what you're talking about. I cried. But deep down I did. A flash, an image buried deep in my mind. The night everything between us had changed. We were 19, reckless, inseparable. She'd kissed me once after a party, a fleeting moment that terrified us both. I'd pulled away, panicking, saying things I never meant. Things that broke her. I thought marrying Ethan would make me forget you, she whispered. But every time he touched me, I saw you instead. I pressed a hand to my mouth, tears burning my eyes. Lily, I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter now, she said softly. He found out. The static grew louder, buzzing like electricity. Found out how? I told him, she said. That night in the basement. I thought he'd understand. I thought he'd forgive me. But he just laughed. Said he'd make sure no one believed a word I said. Her voice cracked. He told me he'd bury me where no one would find me. I swallowed hard, my voice trembling. He said it was an accident. He always says that. Then where are you, Lily? Silence. Then, softly, I don't know anymore. What do you mean you don't know? I see you sometimes, she said. Sitting in your car. Crying in your apartment. Calling my name. But you never look up. My breath hitched. Lily, are you saying? I'm saying I'm not the one who called you, Anna. The phone went dead. I stared at it, my mind blank. Then from somewhere in the apartment, I heard it again, the faint vibration of another phone. Not mine. The sound came from the kitchen. I followed it, my legs trembling. On the counter, beside the sink, lay a second phone, identical to mine. Same model. Same case. It buzzed again. Screen cracked. The name flashing across it. Lily, missed call. My blood ran cold. I had left Lily's phone in the basement. How was it here? A knock at the door made me jump. 3 sharp taps. I froze, every nerve in my body screaming not to move. Then a voice, calm, familiar. Anna, open up. It's me, Ethan. I stumbled backward, the phone slipping from my hand. I just want to talk, he said through the door. You misunderstood everything. Let me explain. My heart hammered. Go away. He sighed. Anna, please. You called the police, didn't you? Do you know what that'll do to Mom and Dad? I said nothing. He knocked again, harder this time. If you just listened to me, none of this would have happened. Lily was sick. She lied to you, just like she lied to me. Stop, I shouted. She's dead, Ethan. I know what you did. The silence that followed was deafening. Then softly he said, do you? I looked toward the phone still on the counter. Its screen flickered to life, a video notification. New file received. Truth.mp4. Hand shaking, I tapped it open. The footage was dark at first, grainy, recorded from a phone camera. Then, slowly, it came into focus. Lily, sitting in the basement, crying. She was looking into the camera. If anyone finds this, I need you to know I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wanted the truth out. She turned her head suddenly, eyes widening. Ethan, don't. A scream. The phone dropped. The screen went black. And then, faintly, another voice. Mine. Whispering, Ethan, please don't. I dropped the phone. It clattered against the tile, the video looping again and again. Her scream, my voice, his silence. My stomach twisted. I remember now. I had gone to their house that night. I'd heard them arguing. I'd gone downstairs, tried to stop him. The fight, the fall, the blood, all of it came back in flashes. I wasn't supposed to remember. The knock on the door grew louder. Anna. Ethan's voice was sharper now, angry. You think you know what happened, but you only saw the end. I grabbed my phone, dialing 911 with shaking fingers. Please, I whispered. My brother, he's outside. He killed his wife. The dispatcher's voice crackled through. Stay on the line, ma'am. Officers are on their way. I backed away from the door, gripping the phone to my chest. But then I heard it, from behind me this time. A whisper. Anna. I turned. Lily stood in the doorway of my bedroom. Pale. Still wearing that torn wedding dress. Her eyes were soft. Sad. Not accusing, just tired. I told you not to go there, she whispered again. I'm sorry, I choked out. I tried to help. She stepped closer. You can't help me now, but you can stop him. Tears blurred my vision. Ow! Tell them the truth, she said gently. All of it. Her hand brushed mine, cold light fading. Promise me. I promise, I whispered. She smiled faintly. Good. And then she was gone. By the time the police arrived, Ethan was gone too. His car abandoned near the lake, his phone left on the seat. No sign of him anywhere. They searched for weeks. Found nothing. The basement was sealed, the house sold. Mom and Dad stopped asking questions. Some things were easier to leave buried. But sometimes, late at night, my phone still rings. Always at 12:14 a.m. Always the same name flashing on the screen. Lily. And every time, before I answer, I whisper the words she left me with. If anything happens to me, promise you'll tell them the truth. Then I pick up, and I listen.